This podcast is from Volume 4 of the book series, 100 Top Lies of Satan. Which ones do you or your church believe? This is lie number 61. Christians still must follow the laws of the Old Testament. Galatians 3:23. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up under the faith, which should afterwards be revealed. The very fact that the Holy Bible has two sections called Old Testament and New Testament begs the question about what from the Old Testament is carried over into the New Testament. Some Christian denominations and fellowships follow some Old Testament laws, such as the dietary laws, tithing, Saturday, the Jewish Sabbath worship, observing Passover, and other Jewish feasts. The Old Testament was defined by the sacrifice of animals and the shedding of blood to cover one's sins. The New Testament is characterized by the sacrifice of Jesus Christ on the cross and the shedding of his blood for the removal of one's sins. Our next lesson contains two teachings: Jesus Christ versus the law, and the spirit of the law, the Toleration Principle. Our first rebuttal lesson, Jesus Christ versus the law, looks at how Jesus fit into the Old Testament law. Since Jesus was introducing God's new covenant with mankind through the death of his Son, Jesus Christ, we can see how believers fit in to the Old Testament law. Did Jesus Christ do away with Old Testament law? This is a very important question. Many religions today weave Old Testament restrictions into the New Testament teachings. We must settle this question in order to avoid deceiving God's people. We have a hard time as Christians staying under the liberty found in the grace program of God. Our second rebuttal lesson, the spirit of the law, the Toleration Principle, builds upon our first lesson. In our world, we cannot consistently live by the whole law, man's or God's, as we will be forced to choose between two laws. It will be necessary to break a lesser law to prevent breaking a greater law or to prevent a greater evil from happening. Acting within the spirit of the law is living according to the spirit and attitude behind the law, rather than living under bondage to the law itself, the letter. The term toleration principle refers to a principle which goes into play when God, the state, and the conscience all tolerate, with no qualms, guilt, or second thoughts, the breaking of the established law. Examples of this toleration principle are presented from Scripture to illustrate exactly how the spirit of the law attitude works in the believer's life. The lesson ends with a discussion on the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law. The toleration principle, or the spirit of the law, is based on an enlightened conscience and virtuous motivation. One gains an enlightened conscience when his or her conscience, under the bondage of the law, is retrained to understand God's new covenant. Virtuous motivation contains the idea that a Christian must have a right motivation when happening to break the law to be guiltless. Why are you breaking the law? One must not seek to break laws. There would be no such thing as the spirit and letter of the law had man remained obedient to the law of God in the first place. Sin has made the toleration principle necessary. The resources section contains a review of Jesus Christ versus the law and the toleration principle, spirit of the law. Our next episode will discuss lie number 60. The normal Christian life is a war between the flesh and the spirit of man. From Volume 5 of the book series, 100 Top Lies of Satan, Which ones do you or your church believe? Please come back and give it a listen. Remember, the paperback book and Kindle e-reader versions of volumes 1 through 3, 100 Top Lies of Satan, Which Ones Do You or Your Church Believe, can be purchased on Amazon.com. Do a search for 100 Top Lies of Satan, and you can order from there. Also visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/topliesofsatan. Our podcasts are found at www.podcast.com/100 Top Lies of Satan, with appropriate hyphens in between the words, 363AF03C6. Our blogs can be found at topliesofsatan.wixsite.com/website. Finally, our YouTube channel can be found by searching for 100 Top Lies of Satan.